He's doing really well. Good guy. He asked about you, by the way. He asked how you were doing. Are you doing okay? You're doing good?
I don't even know. He's alive? That's crazy.
No, yeah, he's alive. I know, right? So anyway, you doing well? I'm gonna text I'm gonna text him. I'll let him know. You doing good?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Fantastic. All right. So anyhow, what is Donald Trump's border policy?
I don't know, bro. I don't know about no policies. I'm just going off based off what I see. So.
What is happening? You don't know a single policy, my guy, but you're going to pick the convicted felon, rapist, and civil fraudster and say you're going off of what you see. Apparently, you saw everything except for the felony convictions, the liabilities, the ripping off the middle class. Apparently, you didn't see the tariffs that crumbled the agriculture industry and small businesses. Like, did you miss the whole overturning Roe v. Wade thing? Did you miss the whole violating the Second Amendment thing? Like, how are you not seeing these parts of the... I mean, did you not see the whole January 6th thing? Like, did you miss that part too? What kind of glasses you got? I got to get some of these. Apparently you see crime and stuff and you're just like, what are these glasses? New 3D glasses? Conspiracy D, if you will? So again, you're not voting based off of policy, but you picked the convicted felon. Why is that? It's a little weird, don't you think?
Wait, so do you consider America to be a business?
What was that? What was that question? You can't conflate a business in America because a business doesn't oversee the largest military in our world. I mean, a business, right, doesn't have checks and balances via a Supreme Court, legislative branch, and executive. You saying, do you consider America a business, was like me saying, do you consider this water a Pepsi? No.
Yes. I consider that water a business, yes. Somebody made money.
No, I said, do you
water.
consider this water a Pepsi? Is it water or Pepsi? Notice how it's two different things. This is H2O. This is H2O. It's not Pepsi. So again, don't conflate a business with America. That's a weird thing to do. Like, again, name one business that oversees the largest military in the world. Go ahead. What business?
America.
No.
America's a business.
No.
So what's the point of paying taxes then if it's not a business? Who is the taxes going to?
Believe it or not, it just went to your schooling. Oh gosh, were you a public school student?
Yes, I actually was.
Okay, yeah. So those tax dollars went to your education. And maybe if you paid a little bit more during that education, if you gave it a little bit more attention, maybe you would know that. Just a thought. Yeah. That's where those tax dollars are going.
That's where we disagree, though, because I think America is a business.
No, this isn't a agree to disagree thing. This is a what you're saying is wrong thing, and nobody else believes that thing. That's what that thing is. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Just a thought. Okay, so break it down for me. let's get back into this. So why are you voting for the felon if it's not based off of policy, and it's clearly not based off a record because, again, he's a felon and a conspiracy theorist and a rapist and a civil fraudster and just an awful human being, then what's it got to be? Like, do you like his haircut? Because we could do that too. Like, if it's his haircut, listen, if the haircut's what gets you over to the Democratic side, I got you. Hold on, give me a second. I could even do the hands. Give me a second. Oh, it's giving Karen. I'm going to be so real. All right. How are we feeling now? Did it work?
I'm still going to vote for the felon, bro. I'm sorry.
All right, so let me understand this. You're not voting based off of record, character, background, policy. Solely, you're just based off of what, his looks? So now, chat, I want the chat to do something for me.
No, I'm voting because I think a business
Quiet! I want the chat to do something for me. Let's think about this. If this guest isn't voting based off of record, policy, background, character, or morals, why might this guest be voting against the woman in this race instead of Donald Trump? Guess I'm gonna put you on mute for a second. Take a second. Let's think about it. So the black woman in the race, why wouldn't he want to vote for her? But he would want to vote for Trump. What might it be? Let's all think about it. All right, folks, you know what time of the day it is. I got the magic wand. On the count of three, we're going to do fetus deletus. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Fetus deletus. Oh, he disappeared. The magic is real in America. Woo! Oh, he's gone. Oh, goodness gracious. The magic is real. Oh, congratulations. We did it, everybody. We proved that magic is real in America. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a chat. If you like what you're hearing today, if you're getting educated, you're getting a little entertained, feel free to support me as I travel and meet voters. My Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are in my bio. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. Help us get to 300,000 likes. Hello, guest. How you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Are you voting for the criminal?
Of course I'm voting for Trump.
And now I'm not doing so good. Oh, that was the quickest I've ever seen somebody's day get ruined. Kudos to you. So, why are you voting for the criminal?
Well, you see Kamala here, and of course, she has some good things. I mean, I'm not one of the Trump supporters that are just, oh, Kamala. No, I'm not that person. I actually listen to both sides. So it's pretty much the lesser of evil, in my opinion.
Man, come on now. Listen, we learned at a very young age. I don't know about what your mom and your pa taught you, but my mom and my pa taught me that if a convicted felon, rapist, civil fraudster who ripped off the middle class is running for the highest office in the land, maybe you shouldn't make him your president. Well, okay, actually, my mom said don't make them your friends. However, I knew what she meant. So let's be real. If she didn't want me to be friends with them, she probably doesn't want to be my president. So now you tell me again, you think you're voting for the lesser of two evils, and yet you think that the rapist is the lesser of two evils? That's a little weird. That sounds like trauma.
Well, no. So the biggest part of that is think of who stands behind her and think of who stands behind him. He stands behind himself.
Technically, she's behind me right now.
Well, of course she is.
Yeah.
So again, let's talk about the policies because you.
And actually, it seems like most of America stands behind her because I mean, look at the polls, right? I mean, North Carolina, Arizona,
Texas, so of
Georgia,
course, Texas is a red state.
Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. I mean, they're all leading towards Kamala, according to 538. Isn't that kind of cool? So apparently, most of America backs Kamala. You said who's standing behind her? Apparently most of America. So again, why are you voting for the convicted felon?
Oh my gosh, you're funny. All right, let's talk about policies.
Okay, cool. Can you tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited middle-class Americans?
Well, number one, he hasn't really said exactly what he's going to do, but neither has he.
No, I'm not talking future. I'm talking past tense. What is one policy that Donald Trump already passed that economically benefited me and you?
Well, my question to you is this. What policy could he have passed during COVID?
Ma'am, he wasn't president solely during COVID. You know, COVID was 1 year out of his 4-year term, right?
Yeah, but the effect from that pretty much messed everybody up. Every middle class person.
Yeah, no, it messed up Joe Biden's economy, and yet Joe Biden's economy still thrived, which speaks volumes to how strong of a leader Joe Biden is. I'm asking you one policy that Donald Trump passed during his time in office to economically benefit the middle class. You could have even used the pandemic to say, well, he signed a stimulus package, but you didn't. So can you tell me a policy he passed that economically benefited middle class Americans, or do you need to stall on ChatGPT?
Oh, I don't use ChatGPT. Thank you very much. But
okay, anyway. I can tell you don't use it because it's ChatGPT, but that's fine. So again, it might be worth looking into ChatGPT. Subscriptions aren't that bad. I mean, it just might be helpful. So again, tell me, what's that policy?
Hang on, let me see something here.
Ma'am, you gotta Google this?
No, I'm looking at these comments.
All right. Here's an idea. Let's, instead of looking at the comments, let's look at me. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. What is that policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited middle-class Americans? You said you wanted to talk policy.
Well, again, he didn't pass anything that specifically targeted one person.
Ma'am, it doesn't have to specifically target one person. Does he have a policy that incorporated the middle class economically? It doesn't. Then name that policy.
He didn't. But this is what I'm trying to say. You're saying
he didn't have a policy that incorporated the middle class economically?
Everybody got stimulus checks.
Ma'am, I brought up the stimulus checks. That's not
But I'm
fair.
saying, but that's
You're
what
gonna
you're
take what I
saying.
said?
So everybody
That's not
gonna pay.
fair.
That's not
That's
just
not
for
fair.
one
That's like
person.
copying my
That's for
SAT.
everybody.
I feel like I just got my SAT copied. Ma'am, listen very closely. What is one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited middle class Americans? That is not a hard question. If you don't know the answer, just let me know. It's okay to say you don't know. Like, we don't have to have this kind of ego.
Hang on.
Why are you Googling it? Do you not know the answer? Ma'am, if you gotta Google it and I have to have a conversation with Google, respectfully, just tell me and I'll have the conversation with Google. Then I don't need you, right? It's a little early to be sundowning, don't you think? Like,
Anyway.
it's not even 7:30 on the East Coast and you're already in cuckoo land. Like, what's going on?
Anyways, everybody.
All right, let's talk policy. Do you know Donald Trump's border policy? You clearly
Of
don't
course
know
I
economics.
Well, I'm in Texas, so of course I know the border policy.
Good, and I heard you say Texas, so I thought you would. So let's talk about his border policy. What I want you to do is tell me what you do and don't support and be honest, because after this, we're going to talk about Joe Biden's record and Kamala's policy, okay? Do you want to build the wall?
So,
This is like a yes or no. I don't need the whole backstory. I really don't need the backstory. I just need a
It's
yes.
not a
Wait,
backstory.
hold
It's not
on.
a
We can
backstory.
get through this real quick if you just give me the yes or no, right? Okay, so you want to build the wall?
You get to elaborate, but I don't. So that's not.
I'm not elaborating. I'm listing the points, and you just say yes or no if you support them. Yes or no, do you want to build the wall?
Yes.
See, and that just saved us like 5 minutes of a tangent. Look at that. We're making progress. We're going to get dinner tonight before 8 o'clock. Look at this. So we want to build the wall. She said, do you want to pay for, I have an issue on this because I don't know where the money for salaries are coming from. I understand you won't know because you're not Congress. So don't feel like you need to justify this again and just need a yes or no. We'll talk about Congress after. Do you want to pay for 2,000 agents to secure the border? They're going to monitor the border.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you again for just saying the yes or no. Again, this saves us time. Do you want to limit immigration? Donald Trump, this was the dumbest analogy I've ever heard him use. I'm sorry, wait, that was rude. So Donald Trump says, again, maybe you agree with this. I understand what he's saying. I just think the analogy he used is silly. He's saying when you fill up a water bottle, you put a cap on it, and then you don't pour it on the sides because that's called illegal immigration. So he's saying that he's going to put a limit on legal immigration to ensure that the water bottle does not overflow. Do you support that?
I do.
Okay. And then again, I just think that I get what he's saying. I think the analogy is silly. Do
Yeah, he
you
used another one, but yeah,
literally
I understand, so.
do you want to give now again I have an issue with where the money's coming from here, but we can talk about that after. Do you want to give border states millions of dollars? Like Donald Trump wants to give them millions of dollars. He calls it states' rights. He says that if he misses a crack or crevice in the wall or whatever, that then they can take action and do it themselves. Do you support that?
Yes.
Okay, and then last one, and then we're going to talk about Kamala. Do you want to block, no, this is illegal, ILL, not LE. Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers from coming into the country? Donald Trump says that if they come here illegally, he's going to turn them around for half a decade, and then they can come back and try again through the legal route.
Yes.
Okay, now that right there was his policy. Are you ready to talk about Kamala's?
Yep, I know hers too.
Perfect. What do you mean you know hers too?
I know her. I know what her policy is. She wants to find the root cause, which is amazing, but the problem's already here. So we got to get it out in order to get to the root of it. And where all the private money gonna come from? That's my only question there. Because I know that she said something about using private money.
Ma'am, I got a secret to tell you. Can I tell you the secret?
Sure.
That was Kamala Harris's policy. I lied. You got tricked. I walked you into the drinking hole and you fell right in and went sploosh. I said that was Donald Trump's policy. And you said, okay, yeah. I support this. I support that. I like that. I even acted. I was like, I don't know where the money's going to come from. Ma'am, I know exactly where the money's going to come from. Like, come And so then you walked right into the trap and agreed and endorsed every single one of Kamala Harris's border policies. Those are literally on her website. They're literally the policies she introduced in Congress during the Biden administration, and she's running on them again. How did you not know this? Ma'am. Wait, I got some news for you too. Did you know that Donald Trump's not even running on the wall? Did you know Donald Trump doesn't even have the wall as part of his policy this time?
Yes, he
He's not
does.
even running on the wall this time.
Border.
Ma'am, you just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. So do me a favor. Do us all a favor. Do us all a favor, okay? Endorse Kamala. Now you get to say, Lex, you get to say, my name is Lex, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. You could even do that Disney Juan Mickey Mouse thing. Be like, my name is Lex, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. Do, or whatever the Disney theme song is. You want to do that? You all know what I'm talking about? The Disney Channel with the wand?
Yep,
They whip out the wand. Do that. Go ahead. Now you get to say, my name is Lex, and I just endorsed Kamala on the border. Do. Go ahead.
But that's the same thing that Trump said that he
No,
wanted to
it's
do.
not. Ma'am, knock that off right now. Donald Trump did not ever say that. In fact, he blocked their bill that included these policies. This was Kamala's policy, and she's running on it right now. It's on her website. So again, do me a favor. Do the little Disney Channel, my name's Lex, and I just endorsed Kamala's border policy. Go ahead.
Hey, well, nothing's wrong with the border policy. I didn't say that.
That's fine. Do the whole, my name is Lex, and I just endorsed Kamala's border policy. I'm not letting you not say it. You got to say it now.
I'm not gonna say it.
You gotta say it now. What? You're a hypocrite? You want to be a hypocrite? Lex, do you want to be remembered as a hypocrite in history?
I don't care.
Clearly. Listen, one more time, I'm going to ask you, okay? Will you just simply state the fact as to what you just did? You just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. Now I'm asking you to just say it. You just did it, and you didn't realize it because you got tricked. Now I'm telling you, say it. My name is Lex, and I endorse Kamala Harris's border policy.
Again, there's nothing wrong with that. That policy is a great policy. That is a policy.
Fantastic.
So
Let's get some W Lexes in the chat. Lex is now endorsing Kamala Harris's border policy. We love to see it. Lex, I want to thank you for coming on up, but now we're going to bippity bobbity boop you out of existence. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boop, gone. Oh gosh, the magic is real in America. Woo! Thank you for endorsing Kamala's border policy. Let's get up the next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump and you want to have a conversation about it, join the guest request and let's have a chat. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, help us get to 400,000 likes. And if you like what you're hearing today, if you want to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App are in the bio, and I greatly appreciate it. I do want to say a massive thank you to Colin for the $5. That's very nice. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. Colin, this next guest, this is for you. This is for you. Hopefully it's a good one, because honestly, if it's a kind of the cuckoo one, then I'm going to feel real bad, Colin. I'm going to feel real bad, Colin, if crazy comes up. Let's get up our next guest. Slowly but surely. Come on, MAGA, get on into the guest request. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat.
What's up?
Hello. How old are you?
I'm old enough, but the thing is,
No, that's not going to work. So how old are you?
I'm almost graduating high school.
Okay, are you dude, you're refusing to say 18, which is the problem. So we're going to get you out of here. You're obviously not 18 if you won't simply say 18. Notice how he just dodged that twice. How old are you? Old enough? No. How old are you? I'm just graduating high school. That does not mean you're 18. That does not mean you're 18. What? Sorry, Colin. Colin, I'm really sorry, Colin. I know I said that the next guest was for you, so now I feel bad because the guest was a minor. So sorry, Colin. I apologize. This one's for you, Colin. Let's try this again. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yeah. Bro, I just wanted to say, like, you are so annoying. Your laugh.
Tell me something I don't know. Like, dude, come on, listen. If I wasn't annoying, come on. If I wasn't annoying, people wouldn't like me so much. So again, tell me now, why are you voting for a convicted felon, sexual abuser, and civil fraudster?
Nah, that's just all I wanted to say. You are, like, so weird.
You hold on. TikTok says on here, on the screen, it says you waited 40 minutes. You waited
Me?
in my life. Shh, quiet. Hold on one second. Quiet. Shut your mouth for a second. You waited. Quiet. You waited 40 minutes to talk to me just to say that.
I've been in this live for like 2
It
minutes.
says 40 minutes! You waited 40 minutes just to say that? Oh, dude, you might be obsessed. You might be obsessed. I don't blame you, but you might be obsessed. 40 minutes? Oh my gosh.
Hey, here goes it. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me? Hello? Are you ghosting me?
Sorry, I just wanted to enjoy the silence for a second. I thought it was really nice. But then you kept ruining it. I don't know what that's about. So why are you voting for the convicted felon?
I'm not. I'm independent, but I'm loving this. This is great. Keep
Are you
doing what
voting
you're
for
doing,
Kamala?
please. I want to, but I'm not. I don't want to go for Democratic, but I do like her policies and I like Walls.
Brian.
And
Oh,
honestly,
actually,
I would
wait.
Walls to be the primary versus her, but that's just it.
My guy, hold on. I saw the flip-flapping nicest sign today. Let me tell you something. It says, all right, obviously, like this is man to man now, but the sign says woman to woman. Let's ignore that part. So it says woman to woman. I saw this on I was meeting voters, right? Across the state. And it says woman to woman. No one sees your vote but you. Kamala Harris 2024. Listen. It says vote like your daughter's lives depend on it. The fact is, again, if you believe in Kamala's mission and you just can't get yourself to say you voted for Kamala, nobody sees your vote. No, I'm just saying. The vote's a private thing. You've got that secrecy envelope. You can tuck it into the mailbox.
Oh, no.
You can Uber Eats that thing down there.
I personally would like it if it was the reverse, where she was vice president again and Walls was the primary. But I understand the want for her to be instead. It's a better choice.
Listen, Brian.
Politically.
Listen. You know, I have voted for Democrats. I have voted for Republicans. Never would I vote for Donald Trump. So by you not voting, if Donald Trump ends up as president, Brian, I'm going to blame you. You and solely you. So here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to apply for that mail-in ballot, get your butt down there and submit the mail-in ballot for Kamala Harris. So that at least that way, if Donald Trump is still the winner, you can say, well, I didn't vote for the criminal rapist. And then I'll say, Brian, you're right. You didn't. Okay.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not voting for Trump. I just don't want
then go vote for Kamala. Vote for Kamala. All right. Thank you for coming up, man. Have a good one. Okay.
But please continue doing what you're doing. It's hilarious.
Dude, I'm going to try. Listen, we educate up here. Not only do we educate, we entertain. All right. There is no reason why education can't be entertaining. That is something that I believe in to its fullest extent. I want to say a massive thank you to Julia, by the way. I just received your message. Thank you so much, Julia, for the Venmo. And thank you. And thank you, Colin. Joshua.
Why would I want to vote for somebody who's
Joshua, I didn't even ask you a
way?
question yet. Can you hold on a second? Oh my gosh, why are you on my back? I didn't even say how you were doing it. Like, you walk in and you're like, why would I want to vote for it? All I said, my guy, all I said was Joshua. And you were like, why would I want to vote for Joshua? I didn't even ask you a question. All right, now that we're here, Joshua, why would you want to vote for the convicted felon, the sexual abuser, and the civil fraudster?
Because whenever Donald Trump was president, he put a cap on the amount of profit that companies could make off of you. Okay? That means they can only make X amount of profit.
Sir.
Okay? They can't go make record deals.
Sir.
And record profits, and then Biden removed it.
Sir. No, I have news for you. Ready? Donald Trump is the guy, right? And first of all, what you just said isn't true. Like, what you just said was blatantly not true. Literally, like, I don't even know where to go with that. First off, Mallory, thank you. I just received your message. Love you too, Pookie. So the fact of the matter is what you just said was blatantly false. Secondly, I want to recognize that Donald Trump empowered greedflation and shrinkflation through his tariffs and through his tax deduction of 14% for corporations. He is the reason why companies like Kroger are getting investigated today for price gouging. He is the reason why PepsiCo increased the cost on Gatorade and shrunk down the size. What are you talking about? Donald Trump gave companies a 14% corporate tax deduction while they were already making record high profits. And you're saying that Donald Trump cut their profits? My guy.
Capped.
My cap and cut, same thing, my guy. So again, pay close attention here. If you're going to argue that you want to put money into the pockets of middle class Americans, let me tell you about somebody named Kamala Harris, right? So Kamala Harris didn't give a 14% corporate tax deduction to Walmart and Amazon, and mind you, your name's not Microsoft, so you didn't benefit from that 14% corporate tax deduction that Donnie gave out. Kamala is going to do a $25,000 down payment for first-time home buyers and $50,000 for entrepreneurs. It's $5,000 right now. She's gonna make another zero on the end of that and bump it up to $50,000. Kamala is given a $6,000 permanent child tax credit to parents. I mean,
if you do that, then the price of house is going to go up $25,000 off.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
You want to bet?
I want to bet.
Because if I know I can get $25,000 out of you right off the rip, I promise
you're counting. What you just said is that you're counting on middle class Americans ripping off other middle class Americans. You're saying that if you know somebody's getting that $25,000 down payment, you're going to hike up your house another $25,000. But fun fact, that means nobody's going to buy your house because it's going to be too expensive. And that's why people cut the cost of their houses. Second part, that also makes you, that also makes you an awful person. And I want you to recognize that most people aren't awful people. They're not going to say, oh, somebody got a $25,000 tax credit. Let me hike it up more so it's unaffordable for them. That's not what's going to happen. But again, listen closely. You're counting on people being horrible. It's just you. It's just you, silly goose. You're the only horrible one here. You're the only one saying that $25,000 down payment is justification for you hiking up your house. I mean, that's just you, silly goose. So tell me again. Hold on. Listen closely. What is one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited middle class Americans? Go ahead and tell me the name of it, please, and thank you.
I have any idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. So you come up here and talk economics. You don't know a policy he passed that economically benefited middle class Americans.
It wasn't a policy. He just put a cap on profits.
No, first off, he didn't. Second part, again, I'm telling you to name a policy he passed that economically benefited middle class Americans, and you couldn't name that policy. So why are you coming up here and talking economics? Shh, listen closely. Again,
everybody.
Again,
you watched it live on TV like everybody
else. You know what we did watch live on TV, though? That insurrection. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But again, I want to make very clear here. You're talking about a stance he took or something, and fine, great. He still hiked up costs, right? And also empowered greedflation and shrinkflation. So whatever you're saying, if he did sign such a thing, is now redundant. Because again, Donald Trump's tariffs, for example, led to a $230 billion tax hike on middle class Americans. But that being said, I want to also expand on this by making clear you don't know one single policy Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class. Neither can you name it, so you don't really get an opportunity to come up here and discuss economics. Let's do the border, though. Maybe that's in your wheelhouse. It's probably not in your wheelhouse, let's be honest. But let's try it. So tell me, what is Donald Trump's border policy?
To close it.
Did you just say his policy was to close it?
Pretty much. He wants to stop.
Are you good? What is going on behind you right now? What's with all the noise?
There's TV on.
All right, you want to turn that off? We don't got to watch TV with you, big guy. Let's take it from up here. Let's turn it down here. So again, now you don't know what his policy is to close the border. Is that correct?
No.
If I tell you his policy, will you actually tell me what you do and don't agree with? Let's start. Do you want to build the wall?
I don't see a problem with the wall.
Do you want to fund 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall?
Absolutely.
Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers from coming into the country?
Did you say illegal?
Illegal, ILL, not legal.
Illegal, yes. I want to block them.
Okay. Do you want to put a limit on immigration?
Yes.
Dan, lastly, do you want to give millions of dollars to border states? Donald Trump says it's states' rights. This whole states, I can't with the whole states' rights thing anymore. He says it's states' rights that he's going to give millions of dollars to border states to secure the border in case they feel he missed something. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Cool. That was Kamala's policy, not Donald Trump. That was Kamala Harris's policy, and you just endorsed it through and through. So here's what I want you to do, Joshua. Do me a favor. Say, my name's Joshua, and I just got tricked into endorsing Kamala Harris's border policy. And I'm not a hypocrite, so now I'm going to endorse Kamala Harris's border policy. Go ahead.
I don't have a problem with all of her policies.
That's great. No, actually, you don't have a problem with any of her policies. You just endorse all her policies. So now do this for me. Say, my name's Joshua, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. Go ahead.
It's not gonna happen.
Floor is yours. But you just did it. What do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to say that? Say it. Say, my name's Joshua, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. Here, you could even do the whole Disney Channel thing where they make the Mickey Mouse symbol, and they're like, my name's Miley Cyrus, and you're watching Hannah Montana. You could do the whole, my name is Joshua, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, wait, that's McDonald's. All right, do it. Come on, go ahead.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with all her policies. Not every one of her policies.
Say that you endorse her border policies. Go ahead.
I do. I endorse her border policy.
Woo! Let's get some W. Joshua's in the chat. Let's go, Joshua. Woo! Let's go. That's a big W for Kamala Harris. Let's get some W Kamalas in the chat too. Let's go, Joshua. All right, Joshua. So I want to understand here. So you came up here. You don't know a single economic policy that Donald Trump is trying to pass, and you just endorsed Kamala on the border. What am I supposed to? Where do I go from here? Where would you tell me, where do you think I'm supposed to go from here in this conversation, my guy? Are we supposed to, am I supposed to entertain for you, or am I supposed to tap dance now? I already got what I needed. You already said you didn't know any policy and then endorsed Kamala's border policy.
You got me to agree with one policy?
No, 5 policies. 5 policies.
The border.
You agreed to 5 policies.
With the border.
Yeah.
Here's her same thing, except he wants to deport the rest of them.
No, Donald Trump is not running on any of those policies. In fact, he made very clear he disagrees with all those policies, which is why he blocked them in Congress when they were introduced months ago. Right? So yeah, but you just endorsed them. Let's also recognize there's less border crossings today than there were under Donald Trump. So that's another massive W for Kamala in the chat, please. Joshua, my question for you is, you already endorsed Kamala on the border. Where am I supposed to go from here? I got everything I needed. I got what I needed, right? You're a MAGA Republican who just endorsed Kamala on the border. And you said it. You said your name is Joshua and you're endorsing Kamala on the border. You literally said it. It's on video. Did I forget to mention this is filmed?
Oops. Never said I was a MAGA Republican.
Oh. Actually, you said you were voting for Donald Trump, right?
I did. So I was going to vote for Donald Trump.
Right. That makes you a MAGA Republican. Sorry to break the news for you. So again, it's not a normal Republican, right? We recognize Donald Trump is tiptoeing fascism, and I don't use that word frequently. I mean, that's a very delicate term I use. He's tiptoeing fascism, and I say that because he violated the Second Amendment. He stripped away Roe v. Wade. That's fascism, right? That's taking rights away from the people, taking power away from the people, we the people. So when you say you're voting for Trump, you don't get to say that you're an independent. You don't get to say you're third party. You don't get to say you're a normal Republican. You are now MAGA. Yeah. Sorry to break it to you. If this was like Nikki Haley, we could have a different discussion, but it's not. It's Donald Trump. So anyhow, I do thank you for coming up and thank you for making yourself look like a fool. Let's get up our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a chat. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, let's have a conversation about it. Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Do we have Pelosi up here? Cool. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, I want to see some of you in the guest request as well. Coming up. I want to hear from you folks. Come on, let's go. We're having a good night. Come on up. Join the guest request. Pelosi dump. My goodness. Why are you? Do you got like a kink for Pelosi dumping or something? You made it your whole personality, huh? So why are you voting for a criminal?
Well, why are you?
How old are you? How old are you?
21.
You're 21, and you're already obsessing over Nancy Pelosi and like. Nancy Pelosi taking a dump and something? Dude, my guy, that's a little weird.
We have a conversation?
Listen, I'm just trying to point out the obvious. It's a little weird. I'm not trying to kink shame here, but everybody's got their things. Everybody's got their things. It's a little weird. All right, hold on. So you just said you want to hear why I'm voting for Kamala. Let me tell you, all right? And let's keep quiet while I do it. So I'm voting for Kamala because in part, she's not Donald Trump. And by that, I mean she's not a convicted felon, a sexual abuser, and a civil fraudster. She didn't have everything handed to her on a silver spoon. She worked for it. This is a woman from a middle-class background. And mind you, she's also a black woman. In every card having been stacked against her, she became a prosecutor. In America, she persevered when all the pressure was against her. She became a district attorney, became an attorney general, leading the largest Department of Justice, second only to the U.S. Department of Justice, in the state that had the fifth largest economy in the world. Not the country, the world. Kamala Harris becoming a senator and a vice president, continuing the fight for middle-class Americans by introducing policies like the Inflation Reduction Act, CHIPS and Science Act, American Rescue Plan, the infrastructure package that created tens of thousands of good-paying jobs. Kamala Harris, who protected the right to choose, who is protecting union rights, who believes in the Second Amendment. And I'm a Second Amendment Democrat, so don't fight me on this because Donald Trump is the guy who violated my Second Amendment, right? His own Supreme Court ruled that in June of this year. You ask why I'm voting for Kamala? I can tell you every single reason, but there are hundreds of reasons as to why I'm voting for Kamala, right? And it all starts with the fact she's not a criminal and Donald Trump is. She's not an insurrectionist and Donald Trump is. She's not a constitutional violator and Donald Trump is. She is not a civil fraudster. Donald Trump is. She is not a sexual abuser. Donald Trump is. So you asked, I answered. Now you tell me, why are you voting for Donald Trump? Do we have any mods on, by the way? Can we get out some of the bot accounts in the chat? I see some freaky deaky bots account. Let's get out the bots. All right. Why are you voting for the criminal?
Majority of Americans right now
are voting for Kamala Harris. I know that's why she's ahead in the polls. So tell me again, why are you voting for the felon?
Majority of
Why are
Americans right
you?
now
You don't get to speak for the majority. That's not true because the majority of Americans are voting for Kamala. I did look at the polls. Kamala's ahead. 538 puts Kamala ahead. Okay, in every single swing state. Kamala is ahead in every single swing state.
She just
give me a second.
People out of Wisconsin.
Ready? Hold on. Quiet.
She just pulled people out of Wisconsin and Pennsylvania.
Quiet. Listen.
They wouldn't
Hold on.
move.
Do you want? You just said the Trump's ahead. Hold on. 538 has Harris at 56, Trump at 44, and let's go state by state. Okay? And then you're going to answer my question as to why you're voting for the felon. 1, Kamala Harris is ahead in Wisconsin, 57 to 43. Michigan, Kamala Harris is ahead in Michigan, 59 to 41. You just said Donald Trump was ahead in Michigan. Clearly you were wrong. Kamala Harris is ahead in Pennsylvania, 56 to 44. Great. Now that we made this very clear that Kamala's ahead in every single swing state, you tell me, why are you voting for the convicted felon? Thank you.
I am voting against Kamala Harris because majority of Americans want change from the current
You
administration.
don't have a single reason why you're voting for Donald Trump. You only have reasons why you're voting against Kamala, and that seems justified.
I'm voting for Donald Trump because the years 2016 to 2020 were better than 2020 to 2024. That's
You're
why
saying
I'm
that
voting
2016 was better?
Those 4 years were better.
Perfect. Let's get some thanks Obamas in the chat because Donald Trump was not president in 2016. Barack Obama was. Thanks Obamas in the chat. Hold on 1 second, Pelosi Dump. Let's get some thanks Obamas in the chat because again, in 2016, Donald Trump was not the president. Barack Obama was the president. Thank you, Obama. All right. So now do you want to justify where you're saying Barack Obama's economy was better for you?
Bro.
You're the one who said it, not me. I'm just pointing out what you did.
Okay. My bad. Let me correct my statement.
No. No, because here's the issue. You don't get to change the year and pretend that 2016 was now bad. Okay. You just said 2016 was good. So clearly 2016 was good. Why was it good? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to move on from that.
Oh, you want to move on from that? No. Yeah. So tell us, why was Obama's economy good? Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't, actually.
Well, you just said it was, right? That's on you. Oh, my gosh, Melanie. Oh, don't worry, Melanie. Don't worry, Melanie. He's gone. Melanie just dropped a 50. Thank you. That is so nice. Oh, my gosh. Melanie, he's out. Melanie, he's gone. He's gone. I kicked him. Melanie, that was very nice. I appreciate that, Melanie. Love you so much. Thank you for supporting me. Let me tell you, folks, that is going right towards mileage right now. I've been running across the state, the swing state of Pennsylvania, meeting voters. That stuff is expensive. Let me tell you something right now. I did not know. Listen, I've been to every county in Pennsylvania. I was not prepared for the distance between Philadelphia and Erie. Whew. Oh my gosh. All right. Exotic. Hello. Are you voting for the criminal?
No, I am not.
Let's get some W's in the chat. Thank you for coming on up. And let's get up our next guest. I do want to get up a MAGA Republican, and then I want to talk to some Kamala supporters as well. Let me get up. Let's see here. Oh, no, wait. That was a weird profile photo. We don't got to do all that. We don't need that one, folks. I'm saving you here. That one guy who I was just about to add, he had a weird profile photo. It was a little freaky deaky. All right, let's get up our next guest. Again, folks, if you're voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a chat. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Slowly but surely going to get up this guest. Hello, guest. Will you join for me? All right, let's try to get up the next one. Again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a chat. Do you guys want to see something really funny? Do you guys want to see something funny? Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can do it. Give it a second. If you folks haven't already, please do hit that like button. We're almost at 500,000 likes, and that is beyond phenomenal. Let me see if I could get up a guest and we can do something funny. Hold on. Jake, hello. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
Gotcha. Jake, I saw that you were waiting in here for a while. I'm sorry. How long were you waiting?
I don't know.
Yeah, it says like an hour, my guy. I appreciate you coming up.
Like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, no, it says 1 hour according to this. So I appreciate you waiting. But ready for this, everybody? Oh, that was mean. That was mean. I'm sorry to waste your time, Trumper. Mr. Trumper, I'm sorry to waste your time. I'm not. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on up. I promise I won't do that again. Hello? All right. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am, yeah.
Gotcha. How old are you?
I'm 18.
And when were you born?
2006.
Gotcha. And why would you pick a convicted felon being a first-time voter? I mean, that does not seem like the flex you probably think it is.
Well, I'm voting for him because in 2016 to 2020, my family made more money. There were no wars started.
Okay, let's take a step back now. First off, are you middle class or upper class?
I don't know. I would say middle.
Okay, so let's recognize here that what you're claiming about your family probably has more to do with your family than Donald Trump. And also let's recognize that Barack Obama's economy is the economy that Donald Trump stepped into. So if you're saying the economy was better for you, that should be celebrated, but that should be attributed to Barack Obama, okay? Because Donald Trump's policies didn't benefit you economically if you were within the middle class. His policies were corporate focused. Okay, he knew that.
Not true.
No, it is true, and we can talk about those policies in a moment. But I further want to recognize on this that you are suggesting, like as though there were no wars under Donald Trump. What? Donald Trump oversaw the genocide and starvation in Yemen. Donald Trump had more drone strikes in 4 years than Barack Obama had in 8. And just so you know, Israel and Gaza was still going at it during Donald Trump and decades prior. Ukraine, Russia,
so
this didn't all start because of Joe Biden, right? This has been going on for a while. And in fact, you are not at war today. You are not at war today. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris didn't start any new wars. Yeah, maybe you're talking about the wrong person here. Is that accurate? Maybe you're trying to talk about Joe Biden and you're confusing names. Is that right?
No. So
okay.
no
You just
new
uneducated?
wars started. What?
So you're just uneducated, huh?
I'm just trying to have a conversation.
A conversation that makes no sense. Again, so Kamala and Joe didn't start any they didn't start any new wars. You know that?
Ukraine and Russia.
How did they start that?
It started while they were in office.
No. First off, that conflict has been going on for years. And 2, the invasion was incited by Vladimir Putin. Did Joe Biden incite the invasion? Was that?
You think that- you think that
did I
Putin
miss
would've-
it? Did I miss something? When did Joe Biden hop in an Uber with Vladimir Putin and decide to go invade Ukraine? I'm confused. When did that part happen?
No.
When did Kamala say, "Hey"? When did Kamala go, "Ring, ring"? Joe Biden, I have an idea. Let's go invade Ukraine. Huh?
All right.
What am
All
I
right,
missing
all right.
here? Let's
All right,
do
we
the
don't
math
need to-
for us.
All right, we don't need to get all like.
I'm just trying to understand where you're getting off here because it's not making sense, my guy. So again, no new wars were started because of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. And I know that
You think-
sometimes as Americans, we like to think we're the center of the universe because our economy is that strong and our military is that strong. And in a sense, we are the center of the universe. But sometimes countries have conflicts that happen not because of the United States, right? You're not the main character in this movie. Ukraine and Russia could go at it and it have nothing to do with the United States. Do you know why Russia invaded Ukraine?
Can you please let me speak?
Do you know why Russia invaded Ukraine?
Can you please let me speak?
Do you know why Russia invaded Ukraine?
Why?
Because Ukraine was about to join NATO, and Russia didn't want NATO on their doorstep. Also, Vladimir Putin in 2019 made very clear he wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. This is why. Nowhere did Vladimir Putin say, well, Joe Biden called me up and said he wanted to invade Ukraine today. So let's not suggest such a thing, okay? It's a little weird.
Do you think that Russia would have invaded Ukraine with Donald Trump as president?
Yes. If Ukraine was looking to join NATO and about to step into NATO during Donald Trump's presidency, yes. However, it just so happens that Joe Biden was president. This didn't happen because Joe Biden was president. It just so happened that Joe Biden was president. They, parallel to the presidency, was looking to join NATO. Again, Joe Biden did not say, hey, Ukraine, you should go join NATO. Neither did Joe Biden say, hey, Vladimir Putin, you should invade Ukraine. Like, what? No, it was Ukraine looking to join NATO and Vladimir Putin not wanting Ukraine on his doorstep. Period. It's easy.
I disagree that they
You don't
would
get to disagree on that.
if Trump
You don't
was
get
in
to
office.
disagree on that.
Okay,
It's not a agree to disagree thing. It's a period fact thing, right?
All right, switching topics real quick. What do you
I'm
think?
sure you would love to switch topics, but I don't. So let me ask you now regarding foreign policy
Can I
and
ask you a
wars.
question?
Well, regarding foreign policy and wars, I would rather us not switch topics. I know you'd like to, but we won't do such a thing until we're done on this topic. I don't like to pivot. So tell me, let's talk about Israel and Gaza. What is Donald Trump's stance and solution when it comes to Israel and Gaza?
He's pro-Israel,
Right. And what does that mean? What's the solution here?
backing Israel, bomb the shit out of whoever if we need to.
Sir, that's going to lead you into a regional war. Do you want that? You want a regional war? You can't just dehome and words I can't even say on TikTok, the Palestinian people. You understand that, right? That's not like a realistic solution. I know, you're right. That is what Donald Trump thinks he's going to do. But
No,
do
we
you
don't need to
understand?
dehome- we
Do you
don't need to dehome
understand?
any-
No, but do you understand that what you just said isn't the solution, right? You said it so proudly. Why would you want a regional war?
I don't
Why
want a
would you
regional
want?
war.
I mean, you just made the case for a regional war, right?
I don't want a regional war.
Right, but you just said that you're going to vote for Trump, and in part it has to do with you think he's going to absolutely demolish whoever he needs to defend Israel, which we recognize Netanyahu wants to dehome the Palestinian people. That's not a reasonable solution. Okay, so Kamala's stance on this, which again, I don't know why you would support Donald Trump's stance especially if that's what you think his stance is, that's awful. Kamala's stance is the two-state solution and the ceasefire. She wants to bring the hostages home. She's saying we're going to defend Israel because that's our ally, but we're also going to protect and uplift the rights of the Palestinian people. Now again, the end deal here as well should include removing Hamas and Netanyahu from power. And I'm sure it's going to get to that point. But under Donald Trump, you saying Donald Trump wants to dehome and bomb the Palestinian people, and that's going to dehoming is incorporated to what you just said. You understand, right? Because when you bomb the land and you make the land unlivable, you're dehoming them. Oh. And when you knock down the buildings with your bombs, that's dehoming them. Oh. Okay, so again, when you say you want to dehome and bomb these people, can you expand on that?
Okay. Well, I didn't say it was dehoming then.
What you said though is dehoming.
Bombing does not necessarily mean dehoming.
Okay, let's do it like this. So you have a tree and there's birds living in it. And then you bomb the tree. Let's say that the birds happen to live. Can they go back to living in that tree? No.
So what would
So now they
your-
don't have a home. Okay, now we get it. Now we see the
Okay, we don't need to do that. We don't need to be condescending. I'm just trying to
not condescending, just trying to explain something. All right, if you think it's condescending, I'm sorry. It might be personal projection. I don't know what to tell you. So again, you're voting for the convicted felon. Clearly, it has nothing to do with foreign policy. Has nothing to do with economics. So why are you voting for the felon? Is it because of a social issue? Are you hiding something from us?
No,
Is that what it is? You don't want to sound horrible for saying what you really want to say. What's the real reason you're voting for the felon here?
The reason that I'm voting for Donald Trump is, like I said, while under his presidency, the stock market, my family gained more money in the stock market.
What year?
I believe it was more 2017 to 2019.
Let's get some thanks Obamas in the chat. Let's get some thank you Obamas in the chat.
Why?
Okay, so
Why
you
are we
straight
thanking
up just
Obama?
credited the stock market that Barack Obama handed off to Donald Trump as Donald Trump's economy. When the second you said 2017, you recognized that you were still feeling the effects of Barack Obama's economy until at least 2018. And then furthermore, I want to recognize you're talking about high stocks. Sir, Joe Biden had historic Dow Jones closings, right? Like we're talking over 40,000 points. If your stocks are doing worse now, I have a suggestion for you. Get different stocks. Just a thought, because hey, the stock market's up. It's actually historically up. So maybe stop investing in AMC and try something else. Just a thought. Just a thought. So again, it's obviously not based off of the economic standard here, and it's not based off of foreign policy. So why are you voting for the rapist? Break it down.
Can I ask you something? About Kamala
Yes,
Harris?
fine. It is Mike Wazowski. You see the mouth underneath? It's got the little horns. Yes, I got it today. It is new. Did that answer?
No. So with all these fake accents that Kamala's putting on, what do you think about that?
the fake accents. My God, what?
Like,
Are you saying, first off, are you saying that you
Repeat that.
for the convicted felon, civil fraudster, and sexual abuser because you think she changes her accent? Is that what you just said? Like, be so for real. You have the opportunity right now to say, no, I didn't say that, and change your mind. Is that what you just said, though?
No, I was asking you your
good
opinion
choice.
on
Good
that.
choice to say no. Yeah, my opinion on that is that doesn't make any sense and is absolutely redundant because first off, she's not. Secondly, if she was changing her accent every other day, I still don't care because Kamala Harris gave us the Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan, CHIPS and Science Act, Respect for Marriage Act, Infrastructure Package, created tens of thousands of jobs, good paying union jobs, created double the amount of jobs that Donald Trump created, protected the right to choose, protected union rights, protected the Second Amendment, while Donald Trump was violating the Second Amendment in accordance to the Constitution and his own Supreme Court ruling. He's a constitutional violator of June of this year. I mean, the guy overturned Roe v. Wade. Like, you really can't listen. Kamala could change her accent every morning and night if she wants to. I still would be like, not going for the rapist. Obviously, I'll pick Kamala. Would you not?
What do you think about her border policies?
Let's talk about the border policy. What is Kamala and Donald Trump's border policy? Let's start with Trump. What is Donald Trump's border policy?
Well, when he was in office, there were far many less illegal aliens coming in.
So we're already off to a bad start here. First off, let's recognize there are less border crossings today than there were under Donald Trump. Right? And at the get-go of the Biden, no, it is. That's an easy fact check. Easy fact check. Let me explain. At the get-go of the Biden-Harris administration, there were higher border crossings. In part, we recognize because the pandemic. Right? So when Donald Trump was in office at the end of his administration, he experienced a pandemic, not his fault, but the economy shut down. So immigrants weren't going to come here. There were no jobs for them. There was no economy for them. All that there was disease. And we had more deaths than everybody. So I wouldn't be running to America either. Now, I also want to recognize that when the economy reopened and the deaths and the disease came down, more immigrants come over, right? That's just what happens. But Kamala and Joe still have less border crossings than they did under Donald Trump, and that should be celebrated. You shouldn't be saying, no, that's not true. Go fact check me, right? And you should celebrate that. But hold on, I'm not done here. Now I want to ask you, again, without the pivot, what is Donald Trump's border policy? Can you tell me?
lock the border down, build a wall,
That is
put more border patrol on at the southern border.
Do you want to put a limit on immigration?
What do you mean? Like legal immigration?
Donald Trump says, and this is his analogy, if you have a water bottle, this is the dumbest analogy I've ever heard, by the way. Cannot believe he says this. Can't even stop laughing explaining this. So Donald Trump says if you have a water bottle and you fill it up with water, you don't just keep filling it until it overflows, right? So he says he wants to limit immigration. Do you want to do that?
Legal immigration or illegal
Yep.
immigration?
He's saying if you take out illegal immigration and you just have a legal channel to get into the country, this being the country, that if you overflow it with legal immigrants, it will overflow the country. So do you want to limit immigration?
No.
Cool.
Not legal immigration.
So do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you want to give money to border states to secure the border how they see fit? He calls it states' rights.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I want to recognize here that you're actually very liberal. Because, in fact, you just agreed to the wall, the border agents, blocking illegal asylum seekers, and offering, I'm not done talking, and offering the money to border states, which is Kamala's policy. The policy you didn't agree with was the limit on immigration. You want more immigrants coming into the country. You legit just said you want more immigrants coming into the country. Dude, my guy, that's insane. All right, let's make something real clear here. For somebody who's complaining about immigrants coming into the... Hold on, I'm not done. So you're saying, let's say 20 million people come over today. You want to let them all in because it's done legally. My guy, that's a problem. That's a problem. So you just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. The only policy point you didn't endorse was the cap on immigration. You want more immigrants here. That's wild, my guy. Maybe, fun fact, I get you're young and you're a new first-time voter. Maybe Donald Trump's not your guy, right? Because Donald Trump isn't running on any of that. Fun fact, maybe you know, he's not even running on the border wall this time. In fact, he blocked a bill that would have built the wall. He's no longer running on the wall. He's running on mass deportation. Donald Trump's policy is mass deportation. So do me a favor now. Mm-hmm. Do me a favor.
I'm in favor of mass deportation.
What's your name, by the way? What's your first name?
David,
do me a favor. Say, my name is David, and I just endorsed Kamala's border policy, and I believe that we should, in fact, have more immigrants in the country. And then do the little Disney Mickey Mouse thing, like the ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's McDonald's again. When they're like, my name's Miley, and you're watching Disney Channel, do that. Say, my name's David, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris and want more immigrants in the country. Go ahead.
Kamala Harris.
I'm not hearing the phrase. My name is David, and I just endorsed Kamala's border policy, and I want to see more immigrants in the country. Go ahead.
All right, come on. I'm
Here,
trying to
take
have
the
a
wand. You got it. Yeah, and I want to know if you're a hypocrite or not. So say what I just said to say.
All right, come on. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to have a
This isn't
conversation.
ridiculous. You just endorsed Kamala's border policy, and you said you wanted more immigrants in the country. Now I'm telling you to own up to that. Don't be a hypocrite. Say, my name is David, and I just endorsed Kamala's border policy, and I want to see more immigrants in the country. Go ahead.
So.
Oh, he's not going to do it. Are you a hypocrite?
Okay, can we please have a real conversation? I'm not.
Yeah, after we get on
serious.
this, maybe you're new to this stream, but you should know when I get on something, I don't pivot. It does not work. It does not compute.
I'm not trying to pivot. I'm just trying to ask you.
You are, and I don't pivot. It doesn't work for me. So we can try and fight with this pivot all night. It ain't going anywhere. We can pivot after we do this. So again, you just endorsed Kamala on the border. The only policy you disagreed with was the cap on immigration. You want more immigrants. Cool. Hey, more power to you, man. So do me a favor. Now say you endorse Kamala Harris's border policy and then say that you want more immigrants in the country.
I do want more illegal immigrants in the country. America was built on immigrants.
You just said you want more illegal immigrants in the country?
No. Legal. Okay,
so again, now say the second part. You want more immigrants in the country and you endorse Kamala's border policy. Go ahead.
I do not endorse.
But you did. You did because you thought it was Donald Trump's. I said it was Donald Trump's border policy. So you said you endorsed every point except the cap on immigration because you want more immigrants in the country. My guy, then when he said that was Kamala's border policy, now you magically don't support it. What does that tell you? That's called hypocrisy, right? That's hypocrisy at its finest.
We can't have a conversation right now if you won't let me speak.
We're not having a conversation. The conversation's on pause. We'll come back to the conversation after you own up to what you just said. Right? If I didn't make that clear, we're no longer conversating. right? The conversation's done until you own up to what you just said. That's how life works, my guy. You get accountability here. That's the life, right? Welcome to, again, I know you're a first-time voter. Accountability is a thing. So again, you just endorsed Donald Trump's border policy. Then I said, that was Kamala's, you got tricked, and you said, I no longer support it then. That's called hypocrisy. You understand?
I'm not saying I no longer
So now say, my name is David, and I just endorsed Kamala's border policy.
Okay, look, I'm not going to say anything that you're telling me to say.
Right, because you're a hypocrite, and you can't get yourself to own up to what you just did. Again, I'd be mad too if I did what you did. But I didn't do it. You did.
Mad.
So now you got to own up to it.
I'm not mad. I'm just trying to speak. Look,
but again, thank you for the pivot. Kamala was in charge. No, we're not going to pivot to the conversation. I think I just said this 4 times. Conversation happens after you make clear you're either A, hypocrite, or B, endorsing Kamala Harris's border policy.
All right, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. All right.
Good, I'm aware. And let's do a little kicksy, folks. On the count of 3, we're going to do a hocus pocus. 3, 2, 1. Hocus pocus. Oh, he's gone. Hocus pocus worked. He disappeared. He admitted he was a hypocrite, and then hocus pocus, he disappeared. The magic is real in America. The magic is real. All right, let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a chat. If you like what you're hearing today and you want to support me or support my work as I travel the states and meet voters, my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are in the bio. I greatly appreciate it. I especially greatly appreciate it because I had a rude awakening this week when I found out how much money is spent on gas. Goodness gracious. It's a lot, people. I'm going to start walking. I swear, I'm going to start walking from Pennsylvania to Illinois. All right, guest, hi. Are you voting for the convicted felon? Hello? Guest, hello? Am I getting ghosted right now? What's happening? Okay, let's get up our next guest. Folks, again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. 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 Again, welcome to the channel, everybody. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Help us get to 600,000 likes. What's your name? Eve. Eve, hi, Eve. How you doing today?
Good.
Are you voting for the criminal?
Yeah.
Ew. And thank you so much for the $2, and I appreciate that. Joseph, thank you as well for the 10 on PayPal. Thank you so much. Yeah, is that like a flex to you? You're like proud to vote for a criminal? Do you hate our police? Do you support crime? Do you like...
Yeah, because I don't like
like
fucking faggots like you.
Oh gosh, let me clutch my pearls. Oh my goodness gracious. What did you... Oh my heart. Oh gosh, I've been hate crimed. Oh no. Oh gosh, darn it. Oh, my pearls. My pearls. And oh no, how could you say that? Oh. All right, let me get over it. Let's get up our next guest, folks. If you're just watching me up here get hate crimed, I need reparations for this nonsense. What is this? Venmo, PayPal, Cash App in the bio. I need some reparations for this nonsense. I'm just getting hate crimes for fun up here. What's going on? Oh, she ran away, by the way. I didn't even kick her. I was going to do a whole thing. I had my fake tears. Where did my tears go? I was going to put in fake tears. I had my pearls clutched. I had a whole thing. I was going to start eating honeycomb so that I could like gag on it for her. Anyhow, guest, hi. Are you voting for the criminal?
I am not. I'm joining because we requested some Kamala people.
Let's go. Why are you voting for Kamala? Tell the group because we want to know.
Well, I've always been, I'm 39, by the way. I've always been character first, policy second for me. I've known Donald Trump's a scumbag since I was like 15. So when he first ran in 2016, I thought he had no chance of winning. And then when a lot of people voted for him to be president, pretty much as a joke, and he became the worst president of all time, it became a lot more serious for me. So, sorry, my voice is going. I'm getting over COVID.
Dude, I hear that. First off, 2 points. One, I've been getting over COVID for years. Second point being, man, I hear that as well. Like these MAGA Republicans, they're not even, it's not even coherent talking points. At least in 2016, Donald Trump was like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Now Donald Trump is like, the only thing we're going to do is keep me out of prison, guys. And his Trumpers are like, yes, sir. Come on. Like, yo, what's going on?
policy waved bye-bye to them a long time ago. I'm not even they're not even running on anything at all now. The only thing they're running on is just fanaticism.
Yeah.
They don't have any regard for facts or any regard for reality. It's really remarkable. I have no idea how there's still this much of the country that supports him. It's fucked up, man.
Dude, fortunately, I'll tell you what, though, looking at the polls, and again, you still got to vote, folks. You still got to vote. But I've been doing a lot of analysis and comparison on these polls. I love numbers. I love numbers.
Major myself. Yep.
Yeah, nice. Hey. So, I'm feeling a lot better than I did in 2016 and 2020.
Good.
So it's looking good for us.
I like to hear from guys like you because I can need some reassurance every now and then that it's not as close as it seems. I'm hoping that she'll smash just like Trump did, despite the polls in 2016. I hope that she's going to win in a landslide.
No, I hear that. And I'll make this super quick. I'm going to make this like 10 seconds, then we're going to get up our next guest. And I appreciate you coming up. First point, just quickly, I look at the 2022 polls in Pennsylvania. John Fetterman was supposed to lose to Dr. Oz by 3 points. He won by 5. That is a 7-point error. And that was across the board, right? And then you also look at Governor Josh Shapiro was supposed to win by a few points. Won his race by 15 points, like double digits, okay? And those polls, again, are leaning towards Republicans, and we see that now. We even see as the gap is closing that most of the polls that are coming forward, I counted, out of 29 polls, recent polls, 28 of them have been funded by Republicans. So when they have tight margins, you have to ask, why is the margin so tight in Michigan, for example? It's not. But anyhow, folks, you still got to vote. But I hope you do feel good.
Well, that's good to hear, man. Hey, one more thing. I just wanted to say that I just really like what you're doing. You're doing a great job. I waited all this time just to let you know that, man. So keep up the good
thank
work.
you for coming up. I appreciate it. Have a good one, okay?
Later.
All right, folks, let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a chat. Don't be shy. Come on up. It's going to be a great conversation. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. Jake, hi. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yes, I am.
All right, here's what we're going to do. One quick thing. Fetus deletus, and poof, he's gone. The magic is real. Listen, folks, I don't know if that was a fetus. I'm pretty sure that was a fetus, though. So we're just going to move on to our next guest. A little fetus deletus works every time, though. I'll tell you what. a little magic in America, right? Let's get up our next guest. Slowly but surely, we're going to get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's chat. Let's have a conversation. Somebody said Yeetus the fetus. Krista, oh my gosh, you're wild. Marty, hi. Are you voting for the criminal?
I, unfortunately, am voting for Kamala.
Savada? That's a beautiful name. Oh my gosh. For Cole and Dawn. Thank you so much. And thank you for the $25 on Cash App. That is very nice. Thank you so much. Anyway, did you say something? Sorry, I wasn't listening. What'd you say?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know.
Who are you voting for? Who are you voting for?
Kamala. I'm voting
Kamala.
for Kamala.
Awesome.
Yes. But I got to tell you what the mistake that you're making.
Oh, I'm not making a mistake. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you are. The mistake that you're making is
5 Republicans today.
Let me finish. Just let me finish. The mistake you're making is you think and you are arguing intelligent points, and the Republicans, the people, the mega people, are not intelligent. And it's proved. It's proved over and over again their intelligence level. So what you're doing is you're making arguments to these people that can't defend anything.
Marty, I love you so much.
One word.
Can we get some W Martys in the chat? Marty, I love you. Man, I thought you were about to say that I'm doing something wrong. I'm like, no, we are flipping Republicans. We're doing this right. No, I hear you, man. I hear you, man. We try to, listen, my mom taught me always treat people with respect. Always imagine that they have matching intelligence. Listen, we had a guy come up here and say that Trump was anointed by God. Obviously, there's not matching intelligence. I'm just trying to make my mom proud by treating him with equal intelligence. I don't know.
It's an uphill battle that you're against, because I come from the semiconductor industry. I'm an engineer with a PhD. I'm very intelligent. The thing that I understand is I have very intelligent people that tell me personally, if they saw him kill a kid, they'd still vote for him.
Oh, well, that's not news. I mean, this guy literally is a civil fraudster, convicted felon, sexual abuser. I mean, he's literally.
Right. And what you're doing, what I appreciate what you're doing is you are preaching, and you are not really preaching, but you are enlightening and acknowledging the people that they belong to a cult. And people have to understand that Trump is a cult. He's not a presidential candidate. He's a cult. He's a Koresh. He's definitely a Koresh. He's definitely a friggin' Jim Jones. And these people are sucking it all up.
Marty, I appreciate you coming up, man. And let's get some W Martys in the chat, please. Marty, thank you for coming up. Thank you for chatting about this.
Later.
I appreciate you taking the time. Have a good one.
You too.
That's awesome. Thank you, Marty. That was phenomenal to hear from him. That was great. That was a good pick me up. I think, right? I think that was a good pick me up. That was a good 820 on the East Coast. That was a good way to spend 820. I like that. Thank you, Marty. Let's get up our next guest. Hello, Samuel. Are you voting for the criminal?
No, I'm voting for Trump.
Sir, I'm going to be so real
Can
with
you
you.
hear me?
I don't know what kind of accent that was, but I don't think anybody heard what you just said. Are you voting for the convicted felon? You voting for the civil fraudster?
For Trump.
All right. So again,
Or Trump.
it's a little early to be sundowning, don't you think?
I got a
so
couple
Donald
questions.
Trump. Yeah, I got a couple questions too, but they're probably for like your doctor. So again, tell me, Donald Trump is a civil fraudster, sexual abuser, convicted felon. Why are you voting for the criminal? Silence.
I'm voting for the criminal. I'm voting for Trump.
What is this kind of lagging going on? Are we? What's going on? This is some MAGA mobile Wi-Fi right now.
I got a question for you. I got a question
for your doctor.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So we shut down the pipelines when Biden took office.
What pipeline?
For our oil and gas and stuff.
What pipeline did you shut down?
From
I know you're
Canada.
ignoring
From
the
Canada.
question, but what pipeline did you shut down under Joe Biden?
The one that came down from Canada.
Yeah, you're talking about the Keystone XL pipeline?
Keystone.
Hold on.
Yep,
Okay, yeah. So fun fact, the Keystone pipeline and the Keystone XL pipeline are two different things. One, the Keystone pipeline is still operational today. It was operational under the get-go of Joe Biden's administration, was operational under Donald Trump and Obama. It's been operational for years. Nobody's touching that. Hasn't been touched. The Keystone XL pipeline, which was actually slapped down by the U.S. Supreme Court, not Joe Biden, was a permit. It was never built, functioning, or even under construction. There was no jobs behind the Keystone XL pipeline. You can Google this. The Keystone XL pipeline does not exist, never existed. It is a theory, a permit that never took place. Understand? So when you say, oh, the Keystone XL pipeline was shut down under Joe Biden, no, it was shut down by the Supreme Court and it was never under construction or functionality.
So
it was a
what's your
theory.
source? What's your source?
Life?
What's your
I mean, you
source?
could, the Supreme Court? What do you mean? What's my source? The Supreme Court?
Like, you can't just Google it. You got to have a source.
Sir, NBC, Fox. I mean, literally, even Breitbart covered this.
Okay, that's fine. Gas was at an all-time low, and now
hold on. What is gas today?
Now we're depending on oil from Russia.
No, you're not. You're more energy independent today than you were under Donald Trump.
yeah.
You're also
Well, no,
drilling
no, we
more
aren't.
today
Then why
than you
is
were
gas
under
so-
Donald Trump. Hey,
Then
hold
why
on.
is
Hold
gas-
on, my
then
guy.
why
My
is
guy.
gas
Hold
so
on, my
high?
guy.
Then
Thank
why
you,
is
my
gas
guy.
so high?
Okay, my guy. It's not. It's at
Why is
pre-pandemic.
gas-
Can I explain? Do you want to hear? Or
ahead.
do you want to keep talking over me? Okay, first off, gas is at pre-pandemic levels. One more time. Gas is at pre-pandemic levels. Gas
No,
is
it
on
wasn't.
par with
It
what it
was
was
like
in
a dollar.
2018. Eyes on
It
me.
was like a dollar.
Eyes on
It
me.
was like a
Eyes on
dollar
me. Eyes on me. Maybe if I say it loud enough, you'll hear it. Gas is at pre-pandemic levels, on par with 2018. That's one. Two, you are more energy independent today than you were under Donald Trump. Three,
No, we're not.
Joe Biden initiated and approved more permits for oil drilling than Donald Trump. Now, my turn. You've asked 4 questions. I get 1 question. Tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited middle-class Americans. Go ahead.
No new wars. He did not have any new wars.
First off, that's not true. Secondly, what you just said
Yeah,
did
that
not
is
economically
true. That is
benefit.
true. You're a
Yeah,
fucking
thank you,
liar.
thank you. I
You're a
appreciate.
fucking
I
liar.
appreciate. You had
You're a
no new
fucking liar.
wars. You had no new wars due to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. So what
No,
you just
no,
said
no, no,
applies
no,
to
no.
them,
No.
not Donald Trump.
One-
Second point,
one-
I asked you
no,
a question you
no.
refused to answer. Tell me a
And I did answer
policy.
you.
Tell me a policy. And if you don't know what a policy is, let me know. Tell me a policy that Donald Trump passed that economically, one more time, economically benefited middle class Americans. Try again.
Lower tax levels.
What was
More
the tax
jobs-
deduction
more
that Donald
jobs-
Trump gave
more
to middle
jobs-
class
more-
Americans?
More jobs to the U.S.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris created double the amount of jobs that Donald Trump created. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris created double the amount of jobs that Donald Trump created.
Answered my question either.
I've answered 4 of your questions, and now I need
No,
some
you
answers to
have
my
not.
questions. That's
No,
called
because
life.
you lied.
So
You
again,
lied about
you just
every
said the
fucking one
tax
of them.
deduction. So
No,
what was
you-
the tax deduction that Donald Trump gave to the middle class? Go ahead.
To all new businesses and just the
Oh my gosh,
cost of
Uncle Daddy,
living and everything.
where are the answers here? Again, what is the
you
tax
lied on all your
deduction
fucking
that
questions.
Donald
You lied
Trump
on
gave to corporations? Give me the percentage.
You lied.
Give me
on
the
all your fucking answers.
percentage.
You lied on.
La,
See,
la,
that's
la,
what your
la,
guys'
la,
problem
la,
is.
la. Give me the
Your guys'
percentage.
problem is you fucking lie about every fucking goddamn
Percentage.
thing.
All right, let me explain something to you.
You lie
Let me
about every
let me
goddamn
explain
thing.
something
No.
to you.
You fucking lie.
This
You're just like every
is what
fucking
a percentage
Democrat.
looks like. Tell me what the percentage was that Donald Trump gave to corporations and the middle class. Can you please tell me?
It was a good percentage.
Okay, you don't know what it is. Is the homophobic
I don't
slur going
know,
to
but I
come
know
now
that
or
I gotta-
later?
I know that it's was lower than it is now.
No, because you're still under Donald Trump's tax policy. It's the exact same thing it was then as it is now. What? Hold on. Hold on, Samuel. Let's just take a real quick second. Everybody realize he just said that the tax deduction was lower under Donald Trump than it is now? Guys, we're under Donald Trump's tax policy still. We are still under Donald Trump's tax policy. Samuel, did you not know that? Did you not know that? The tax policy doesn't expire until next year. You want to unmute? Tax policies last 8 years. You're on year 7. Year 8. It expires next year in 2025. Unmute. It's the button that looks like the microphone. You just got to click the microphone button. It's the button that looks like the microphone. You just tap to unmute. Folks, if you feel bad for me and you want to pay for the therapy I'm going to need after talking to this guy, feel free to support me. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App in the bio. I also want to say a massive thank you.
You all lie a lot. You all
Listen,
lie a lot.
you can't just call everybody a liar and say everybody's wrong except for you. That's not how life works.
But I
You're
caught
just saying, you're
since
just
I was
saying,
watching
you're
you,
just
I
saying,
caught you in like 10
You're
lies
just saying
already.
the facts are wrong and the truth is wrong and the percentages
No,
are
you
wrong
lied.
and the policy's wrong and everything's wrong. It's
So
just not how life works.
How does this make sense?
It's just not how life works. So let me be clear here. Donald Trump gave a 14% corporate tax deduction. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. 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 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, Samuel. Hello.
You lied about that.
Hello. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, Samuel.
Biden and Kamala.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me, Samuel. 1, 2, 3, Samuel, eyes on me. Somebody drop a 20 and I'll kick this guy. I'm not even playing anymore. 1, 2, 3, Samuel, eyes on me. 1, 2, 3, Samuel, eyes on me. Sam, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Let me explain the economic policy. Samuel, I'm going to explain the economic policy if you let me do it. One more time, Samuel, eyes on me. All right, this isn't engaging anymore. Samuel, shut up. Right? Like, the hillbilly accent was a little charming at first. Now it's just giving tomater. Like, calm down, my guy. It's really not that dramatic. Okay. Second point on this, I want to talk about the economic standpoint. You don't understand what Donald Trump's first and only economic policy that benefited the middle class was. He gave a 1 to 2% tax deduction to the middle class. He gave a 14% corporate tax deduction to Walmart, Amazon, Microsoft, Target. That didn't benefit us. I also want to recognize on this that 1 to 2% tax deduction for the middle class was pennies in comparison to the $230 billion tax hike he gave us via his tariffs, like the 15 to 25% tariff on agriculture that led to higher costs of middle-class consumers through small businesses. Okay, these are things that you don't know, and I recognize that, Toe, but the fact of the matter is, Tometer, you gotta at least listen and appreciate the facts when they're said to you. You can't just say, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, oh, my emotions. Just stop. Like, I'm not your therapist, right? I'm really not your therapist, so you don't gotta talk to me like I am. If you want to get all emotional and cry about it, ask me out to dinner first. I'll say yes. I mean, you clearly got a crush. You may unmute. Folks, if you haven't already, hit that like button. I feel like we could get to 1 million likes on this live. Christina, I just want to say, Christina said eyes on me. Christina said eyes on me. Thank you, Christina. And Brian, thank you as well.
Eyes on me, you motherfucker. You lied about it.
I'm lying about it. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
he says I'm lying about it. Oh no.
If I would have lied like you did, you would have called me out on it. So I'm calling you out.
What are you talking about?
To it.
Dude, you don't know how to call me out on it. Oh,
yes, I did.
J-A-I. Hold on. Listen, life isn't about you. Hold on a second. All right, folks, on the count of 3, we're going to be doing, where are our mods? Oh, and Anastasia. Anastasia and Jay, this one's for you. On the count of 3, everybody, we're going to do a quick old fetus deletus. Are you ready? Because they just dropped 20. So we're gonna get them at ready. 3, 2, 1. Fetus deletus. Poof. Oh, he's gone. Oh, the magic is real. The magic is real in America. We made the conspiracy theorists yeet out of the live stream. Nobody should have this kind of power in this wand. Goodness gracious. How did Harry Potter manage this? Fetus deletus is a wonderful, wonderful spell that should be used wisely, young wizards. Be very careful with this spell. Oh my gosh, and Sandy. So that was for Jay, Anastasia, and Sandy. Can we get some W Jays, some W Anastasias, some W Stacys in the chat? Let's get some W Sandys in the chat as well. That was a wonderful fetus deletus. Lulu, hi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Is that a cat in your profile photo?
Yes, it's my cat. He's 8.
Oh, what's their name?
His name's Kiki. Like
Kiki the cat.
Service.
Kiki and Lulu. That's so cute. That is so cute. So are you voting for Donald Trump?
Ew, no.
Massive W's. Oh, see, it got even cuter, everybody. Let's get some W Lulus and Kikis in the chat, please. So tell us while you're up here, why are you voting for Kamala?
I'm voting for Kamala because I'm not stupid. Like, you know, I already am hurting from his time in office, you know, financially, socially. I know that we're better than this, and I'm just tired. It's so un-American. Like I grew up in a really small, not a really small, but like a small conservative town in California. Mm-hmm. So it was like weird to be like, oh my God, the whole world is here. And then, cause I'm in the city, and then I go back to rural California, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting that, you know, more conservative education. And it's like, yeah, hoorah, America. Like, you know, from one end to the other, and, you know, love the flag, and we all stand and salute, and 4th of July and shit, where, you know, 9/11, post 9/11, like, I was like, yeah, like, fuck yeah. It's like, we're like the best. And I'm like, yeah, because, you know, we do the right thing. Like, we're world leaders and stuff. And, you know, feeling patriotic because I'm like told that the diversity of America is what makes it amazing. And then I see people throw slurs at me and be misogynistic and, you know, blatantly lie about facts, vote against their own interests, like vote against my interests, just being, you know, homophobic. And it's just like, what is that? Like, that's literally antithetical to what you want me to be indoctrinated to believe. But then I realize, oh, you only want that for certain people.
Right.
And I'm not in it. And that's why my experience is this way. But yet you're benefiting off the back because they do believe that we're a great country. And I think that, you know, the left and the right agree that America is a country where people come here for one reason or another, or our problem or not, and they get the opportunity to benefit off of our existence. Like, for every good and wrong that we have done as a country, people can still come here no matter where they came from in the world and flourish. Yeah. And we can show all of these other countries where people live separately and stuff, that you can be around people who worship, you guys have been fighting for 800 years, but over in America, you're best friends.
I appreciate you coming up and saying all this. I feel you too. I grew up in a rural conservative hometown. I get it. Trust me. Yeah. I hear you. So I appreciate you doing the research on your own, because I know how hard that stuff is. Like, growing up, I had those conservative viewpoints. My family was Democratic. When you're surrounded by conservatives all day, every day, except in the household, you still get those conservative viewpoints, and you hear it nonstop. How great Trump is, even though Trump's trying to strip away our rights. It's like, so I appreciate you doing that research, and thank you for coming up and saying that, because I want you to know there are Republicans tuning in right now who aren't ready to make that jump. But when they hear from people who get it because they grew up in those conservative hometowns like you and I, it makes a difference. And just today, we flipped 5 Republicans. So it's making a difference. So thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I will leave. And I want to say 2 things. One, I just love how you are just creating this space to just say, fuck it. I'm going to cut you off when you're talking around the point. Let's just get to the truth of it. And coming from you, it has been amazing to listen to, especially as a Black woman, because not a lot of people want to listen when I speak. And so I think it's amazing that you're doing this. I just fell in here. And then secondly, I'm glad that you are talking to a lot of Republicans and that they're here, because I really want, to say, as someone who understands what it's like and who has been there, who run and shit, as a super lefty now, I do love this country so much. Yeah. And I know that we can be better, and that's what I'm pushing for. And I think that's what, at the end of the day, we need to be talking about, instead of talking about, oh, I don't agree with the road to get there. We can debate the numbers, but not debate the humanity. And that's all anyone is ever asking for. So thank you, guys.
Well, thank you again. Let's get some W Lulus in the chat, and also some W Kikis for the kitty. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. One more time, let's get some W Lulus, please. Jay's T. Folks, mods, can you please unblock Jay's T at JAYSTEE? I think you accidentally got a friendly blocked. Jay's T. It was JAYSTEE. Let's see. Maybe I'm able to do it right now. I got him. MT. Blocked by MT. MT, be careful. I appreciate you taking the time, though, MT. Let's see. Guest, come on. If you're voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a chat. No, MT, you're good. I appreciate you taking the time to keep the chat clean. I think it was just an accidental friendly block. All right. And Jay's T is unblocked. And thank you, Jay, for letting me know. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on up. Some people say it's the best conversation in the world. My hands are too big for this. Hold on. Don't be shy. Come on up. It's going to be the best conversation in the world. It's going to be huge. Let's see. This guest isn't coming up. Let's get up our next. These are more his size, I think. Don't you think? Chat, am I wrong? Aren't these these seem life size, right? It seems like they're his size. It seems like these are his size. I don't know. Am I wrong? Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Yeah. Okay, we're going to do a quick little fetus deletus, and then we're going to get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Quick little fetus deletus right there. You just wave the wand like Voldemort and get him out. Hello, M. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Fuck no.
That was an awesome answer. All right. I do want to get up a Trump supporter. Let me see. We just had a few Kamala supporters in a row. Let me see if I could get up a Trump supporter here. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump and you want to debate or conversate, get on into the guest request and let's have a chat.
Hello.
Oh, Anastasia, thank you so much. She said for eyes on me and 1, 2, 3, focus, focus. Anastasia, I really do love the wand. It's awesome.
Hello.
Can you hold on a second? I'm having a conversation with Anastasia. Not everything's about you, okay? All right. Okay.
Be polite here.
All right. How old are you?
I just turned 18, so I'm a first-time voter.
First-time voter. All right. And are you voting for the convicted felon?
So you could easily switch me because I only have 2 reasons.
Okay.
I'll tell you them. You could easily flip me. So my cousin fought in the war in Israel and was murdered, like killed in war. And I am going into a combat unit next year to fight after I'm done with school. So from what I've been seeing is Trump would be the best for Israel. And that's the only reason I'm voting for him.
Okay. I want to preface this. And I hear you, and I've studied the conflict. I understand that most MAGA Republicans, you obviously will understand this, MAGA Republicans genuinely think that this conflict started on October 7th. We know that's not the truth. But this is the kind of rhetoric we see from MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump's party. Donald Trump's stance on this is that he will dehome the Palestinian people. And when he says he will finish them, he doesn't actually offer a plan or solution to end the issue, right? Because that's not, finish them isn't a solution. This is like his healthcare plan. Him saying, I'm going to replace the ACA, it's been a decade and he still has a concept of a plan for a healthcare plan. He's going to lead us into a regional war. That is going to be an immense loss of lives that no country should have to bear. We don't want to see that.
I completely see where you're coming from. I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. I'm not really looking for America to fully solve the problem. I just think that we should have a bit more troops there or a little bit more funding just because of the connection between Israel and America.
I hear you. And yet what we see with the Biden-Harris administration right now is immense support for Israel, but also support for the two-state solution and a ceasefire. And that right there is the solution. The solution that makes the most sense because 1, it's the most realistic, and 2, it offers both sides a way out of a regional war. Because under Donald Trump, somebody who doesn't agree with the ceasefire or two-state solution, you're going to lead into a regional war. That doesn't solve the conflict. And neither does that save lives. That is an immense cost of life that, again, no country should have to bear. We need to recognize this. Like, we really need to recognize this. Again, war is scary. And MAGA Republicans talk this up as though starting a regional war and jumping into it is like, so simple, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, I don't know. I've studied this immensely. I've looked at their policies. I've looked at their backgrounds. You understand that this has been going on for decades and that this didn't just start on October 7th. That October 7th was a tipping point and that, again, we need to work towards the two-state solution and the ceasefire deal. It's just not going to happen with Donald Trump, my guy. And I mean this sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I'm not saying this as a Democrat. I'm not saying this as a Kamala supporter. I'm saying this as somebody who understands it's not Donald Trump who is going to benefit you or your viewpoint on this. I don't think, 1, he understands how foreign policy operates. This is the guy who couldn't negotiate a deal to bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. This is the guy who couldn't negotiate a bounty cancellation on the heads of our U.S. troops that Vladimir Putin implemented. We can't trust him to lead anybody through this. And you're not going to get more support from him. He's using this straight up as a talking point because it resonates with uneducated MAGA Republicans. If anything, he would lead us into a regional war. But that is my personal stance on this. And, it might not be the answer you're looking for, but that is me not speaking as a Democrat or a Kamala supporter. That is me just saying the fact on it.
I completely understand where you're coming from. I personally am going to fight in this war, which kind of scares me a little bit because right now there's not a lot of support from America. But we've tried the ceasefire thing plenty of times. We've argued back and forth for this ceasefire. We did the hostage exchange, and it's not Palestine versus Israel. It's really Israel versus Hamas. It's not. So I don't think bombing Palestine is like the right answer. I mean, I don't think hostages are the right answer. Like, some people don't deserve, like, one of my good friends who lived in the town next to me went for the same exact unit I'm going for, and is now kidnapped and has been there for 130 days. So I just think that they took it a little too far over the land that was already technically given to them by Israel. And I just want to see a little bit more support from America, and that's the only reason I'm voting for Trump.
I hear you. And if you're going to vote for Trump, I want you to know you're not going to get that support. One, he doesn't know how to deliver it. It's in part a factor of him being negligent and ignorant. So you might think he's going to deliver something. And again, I understand, what you're saying. I disagree, but I do understand what you're saying. I also hope you understand you're not going to get that support from Trump. In part, ignorance, unintelligence, negligence. He can't offer the support. I mean, he couldn't build the wall he said he was going to build. Two, I want to recognize here that if you want a solution that leads to people not having to go into war, that leads to the least loss of life, then Kamala is your candidate. And if you still vote for Donald Trump at the end of the day and that makes you feel better, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you have a deeply personal experience, right? And so I can't, that's the only person who's going to be changing your mind here is you. But I do hope that you understand I'm not saying this as a Kamala supporter or as a Democrat.
No, I'm being
very, very straightforward and truthful on this. Donald Trump's record makes clear he will not accomplish what you think he's going to do for you. He is using you as a talking point. The same way he's using the border as a talking point, right? He said he wants to secure the border. And then when the border deal was put on the ground, introduced by his own party, he blocked it. The guy is running solely on his campaign and politics. It has nothing to do with the people. So I'll leave it at that. I appreciate you coming up.
I recently turned 18. I didn't look at the old facts between Trump and Kamala. I didn't look at any of the other facts except for the one that affects me in my country.
And I think you got to do more than that. I mean this sincerely. You need to do more than that. Again, I can't change your mind. You have a deeply personal experience. Only you can change your mind, and you're going to vote for whoever at the end of the day you feel is going to do what you feel is in the best interest of you. But I understand you're a young voter, and you're about to learn a lesson that a lot of Democrats and Republicans learned in 2016. When Donald Trump says he's going to do something for you, you better expect he's not going to do it. But I'll leave it at that. I appreciate you coming up.
Okay.
Let's get up our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request. Let's have a conversation. That cough. Where's my inhaler? Let's get that conversation going. Hello, guest for page. Are you voting for the criminal?
I'm voting for the best candidate possible, and for me, that's
Kamala Harris. So, let's get some W Kamalas in the chat. So you said the best candidate possible. I assume you're voting for Kamala, yeah?
No, I'm voting for Trump, and I wanted to address.
Wait, what? Donald Trump is a convicted felon. All right, hold on. We're not going to do this. Shh. I'm not doing this. We just had a deeply personal remark there, and we're going to let them, be. We're not going to harp on that. Like, absolutely not. Let's get up our next guest. Hi, guest. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Good. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I serve in the United States Army.
Oh, thank you for your service. That's awesome.
The young man that was up here earlier, and I'll let you know that we're going to be standing down if he gets in the White House. I will not serve him as my commander-in-chief. I will get out after I was in 13 years. I cannot do this. I cannot go against my homeland, and I didn't take the oath for president. I took my oath for the Constitution.
Right.
To the people as who I'm here to support.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for your service, and thank you for.
And I just wanted you to know a lot of people are getting out, and then they can draft the Republican kids to come in and serve this country.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that, and thank you for your service and for stepping up. I'm going to let you go, but I do want to just say again, really appreciate you coming up and saying that. I think that this is something where a lot of Republicans don't understand. The military backs the Constitution, not a political candidate. So every time they're like, the military is endorsing Donald Trump. No.
To let you know, can I say something? I am a Republican. I voted for him in 2016. Now I'm voting for Harris and going to stay a Democrat.
You're gonna make me cry. Folks, we need to up the beat here. I just want to say thank you so much again for your service. I mean, you're literally what my parents taught me America was supposed to be. Like, you are the bridge between the divide. You are a soldier. You're America.
Us military to get hurt.
Thank you again.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Have a good one. Thank you so much. Yeah, folks, that was honestly, that conversation just made my day. That right there was the kind of leader that that was America. Like, do we understand that was America? Like that was the bridge between the divide and a soldier. That was what America was supposed to be. I don't know. That just made my day. That was cool. It's awesome when you see like America realized like that. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like when you see something, like, I don't know, it was the vision, like they were the vision of America realized. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hey, yo. So actually, I was not going to vote, but now I'm moving towards Kamala. But I do have a question that I was wondering if you could, like, help me kind of understand.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
I will preface this with, if I feel as though it might be best over messages, I'll just say that, and then we could chat one-on-one, where we can use it, like stats and stuff like that. But go for it.
Yeah, I've been watching you for a while, and like I didn't really think I'd get on here, but so my question is like the tax policies, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that from what I'm seeing is there's like I forgot, like marginal. Basically, like if we go with Trump, there's gonna be there's gonna be some tax cuts and whatnot, and if we go with if we go for Trump, Kamala she's going to lower the corporate tax, correct?
So Kamala Harris, effectively, if you're looking at the corporate tax deduction, she's going to rechannel that money back into the middle class via 3 policy structures. Donald Trump wants to expand on the corporate tax deduction. Kamala's plan doesn't cost the middle class taxpayer a dime because that's coming out of that tax deduction from corporations. Donald Trump, according to the Penn Wharton economists, they believe this plan will lead to a $3 trillion deficit increase.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I'm in corporate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from like what I normally see is that like when there are like let's say if we start taxing I guess larger corporations more, it usually hurts the employees that are like underneath those corporations.
I haven't seen that, and I've done corporate too. I've seen complete the opposite. But I want to recognize if you're coming from this I hear you. If you're coming from this from a corporate perspective, I'm not going to sit up here and cry for corporations and say corporations should make more on the back of the middle class worker. I mean, that's just not going to happen. If you're coming from this from a corporate perspective, understand that the middle class is sick of that shit. Right? The middle class is saying it's our turn. Donald Trump's corporate tax deduction led to an $8 trillion deficit. Mm-hmm. I mean, it literally was the equivalent of a $230 billion tax hike for middle class Americans. His next tax deduction could lead to $2,500 to $3,900 coming out of the pockets of middle class Americans every single year, on top of the $3 trillion tax hike. I mean, we're not doing this anymore, man. You know, corporations were making record high profits before the tax deduction. They'll make record high profits after you remove the tax deduction. And now we can hold corporations accountable, like Kroger, who are price gouging, like PepsiCo, who price gouged Gatorade, and Apple, that price gouges their iPhones. And we can say the middle class is going to make some money here. The middle class is going to get the housers taxing credit. The middle class is going to get a child tax credit. The middle class is going to get the small business credit so that they can maybe go work corporate someday, go launch their own corporation. But we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, I understand. I guess I'm just trying to like figure out like the magnitude of like how it would affect.
Right. Again, if you have any more questions about this, feel free to message me. But what we're not going to do on my platform is use it to justify why corporations shouldn't pay their fair share. I've done corporate. I've worked corporate. This isn't not doing it. I've done middle class. I've done small business. I've done corporate. It's the middle class's turn, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
But thank you for coming up.
I
also appreciate
it. That the high tariffs, they're totally going to mess up like all of economy. So I mean,
the 15 to 25% tariff the first time on agriculture led to.
Is there one more thing?
No, just message me, okay? I appreciate it. Let's get up for our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it, okay? It is the middle class's turn. I stand firm on that. We just had like 8 years of a corporate tax deduction. Let's give it off to the middle class now. I think it's fair time for the middle class to have their turn, right? Do we agree, chat? We agree. I feel like it's not that crazy to say that the middle class deserves the tax deduction this time. I think it's our turn. And I've done corporate, I've done middle class, I've done small business. I think it's our turn. Hi, Hank. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh. Fetus! Deletus! Poof! Gone. Fetus deletus is a beautiful spell. It really is. It just, fetus deletus! And they disappear. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Hell no to the no. I appreciate what you're doing, though. Keep doing it, baby.
I appreciate you coming up. How you doing, Candy? You having a good day?
Yes.
But I think, honestly, on this note, I think it's probably time that we take a little break and we come back later, because it's about dinner time, right? It's like 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. Probably dinner time.
Grub, yeah.
Right? What are you eating? What did you have? Did you already have dinner?
I didn't eat anything today. I'm fasting.
I got to do the same. You're fasting?
Yes.
Oh. I would love to try fasting. My issue is I can't control myself.
I love eating too much. I love eating too much.
Yeah. I mean, literally, some people are athletic. Some people are good singers. My thing is that I can't talk for too long without needing my inhaler, and I eat too much. That's my superpower.
I've been getting a kick out of these angry MAGA people that it's just been so fun to hear them foam from the mouth because they know they're losing.
Yep. Hasn't it been awesome? And the polls, the one guy came up before and he was like, the polls are ahead. Donald Trump's ahead in the polls. And then I read off the polls to him and he was like, oh. Like, yeah. But anyhow, chat, do we agree it's probably dinner time? It's also Agatha all along time. So it's probably...
Yeah, but you're doing an amazing job, and
I appreciate it.
Love it. You cough, and I hate that for you. I hate you had to go through what you're doing, but you're still doing an amazing job. Your parents did an awesome job with you.
Oh, let me get my mom on the phone. Hold on, let me call her back home. You let her. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time. Hope you have a good night. Okay.
You too. Bye.
Alrighty, folks. What do y'all think? We end it here. We all go have dinner. What are you folks going to have for dinner? I think we're going to come back a little later tonight, probably in about an hour and a half. We'll come back. I want to say a huge thank you to our moderators, by the way. MT, Stephanie, Becca, Stephanie. I saw everybody moderating. King T. Thank you to our moderators, to every moderator who's on, who keeps this as a safe space for us. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you folks giving us that safe space. Char City, hello. Good to see you. Y'all having dinner? I see pizza in Maryland. Pizza in Maryland. That sounds good.